Seagal vehicles?
No.
Endless amounts of Steven Seagal.
Thank God.
Bad.
This is an early one, right?
I haven't.
90
Yeah.
Directorial debut.
We haven't hit the early 2000s Seagals really that much. We've done a lot later
Which
Seagals.
version of Seagal is that?
That's like Black Seagal, I think.
Oh, wow.
Is like that version. This is Native American Seagal.
This is definitely
He's young and hot in this movie.
young, thin, hot.
Super thin.
Yep. It's Friday, folks.
It is.
Hot Boy Shane the Cannibal Mike G. We're reviewing
Hi.
On Deadly Ground,
Wow.
the 1994 Steven Seagal directorial debut. He also stars in the film. Of
course
he
he
also
does.
stars the likes of John C. McGinley,
From Scrubs fame.
Yep.
Sir Michael Caine, Billy Bob Thorne's
lot
in it
of
for
shit.
2 minutes. Josie Packer left the doorknob in The Great Northern to make an appearance. So
That's
it's-
who that
it's got
was? I thought,
yep.
okay.
It was a good cast.
I actually have to ask who Billy Bob Thornton was. I didn't even.
So at the end of the movie,
He is like comic relief.
yeah, he's
somewhat.
comic relief. At the end of the movie, he talks about like, do you think it's more badass or something if the stock is in the gun? Or
That's
out?
him?
That's
That's Billy Bob.
Thornton.
Yeah.
Bro, I did not even notice that.
What's his best performance? You think Bad Santa?
People will say Bad Santa. I'm not the biggest Billy Bob fan, to be honest. So I'm not like married to anything that he's ever done.
Wasn't he in that baseball movie? What
Bad
was
News
that?
Bears remake?
Actually, wasn't he great in that season of Fargo?
Oh yeah, he
I
was
never
actually. That was
watched
probably my favorite thing he's ever done.
He was really. He was
Yeah.
the serial killer, the murderer. or
Yep.
what is it?
Really?
That was
We have
my
to
favorite
watch
thing he's
that.
ever done. Confirmed.
He's. Oh, you've never seen Fargo? Mike?
No,
That's
no.
a show you would actually love.
Brian, do me a favor and pop on Deadly Ground.
Oh yeah, you're right.
'Cause
Let's throw that on.
Actually, did you?
We watched this last
Did
week.
you mention Arlie?
Arlie Ermey,
Ermey.
the guy that plays a mercenary. No, I did not. That's a good call out.
Because he's Full Metal Jacket, Texas Chainsaw remake.
Oh shit.
It had such a sick
Oh
cast.
yeah. Fuck.
Yeah,
That guy's awesome.
he
plays a psychopath in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
plays a psychopath. He actually plays himself in like every movie.
You don't know him
I do. Well, he's
personally?
he's dead now,
Oh,
if I remember correctly. I hope I didn't just kill another man. Let's find out. Did I kill him?
So let's talk on.
No, he is dead.
On Deadly Ground is the story of Steven Seagal, who apparently does everything. This man is like classic fashion for Steven Seagal. You can't find him in any index because he's a government. He comes in and he just cleans house, does whatever they need to do. I don't even. They give you no background on him. You just
Because-
know he's got this special ops training.
That's the thing. It's every Steven Seagal movie. He doesn't have a background because he is so secretive.
he's
And so
fucking,
under the radar, no one knows his background.
he's so fucking untouchable. It's crazy.
Okay. So he does this thing where he's called in to be a demolitions person for an oil rig that's on fire. This is the very beginning of the movie. Apparently, this is what he does. He's called in by the company. I forgot the name of the company. I know the name is like the Aegis One for their new oil rig, but I forgot the name of Michael Caine's
I
company.
don't remember, but you're right. It is the Aegis one as the oil rig.
So they call him in, and then he basically takes this fire and does something I didn't know was humanly possible, but it must be an oil thing. He straps it with explosives, it blows up, and the fire goes away. Please explain to me.
I can't do it.
I had no idea what happened, but it
Bald
worked.
eagle.
Everyone's happy about it. On the way back, it's the whole the story. Just to get into the thick of it, this company is very rich. They want to make more money, but also it seems like they may be causing these issues only to rectify them. I don't know why. They were saying it could have been like the person that was there, like the old guy that had the preventions there.
Yeah. So what it came down to is they needed to get the rig up and running in a certain time. Otherwise, the natives would get the land back. So the only parts they were able to get were the defective parts because the other parts were put on a 30-day delay. So they were just going to use the defective parts just to get it up and running so they didn't lose the land back to the natives.
Good job, bro.
I
Hey,
pay
Brian.
attention.
Shane really loves. He really nails these Steven Seagal films.
Oh yeah, he's super into it. You think at like maybe a different life, Shane would be like an evil like oil tycoon type guy? I could see him doing that.
I'd love for him to do that, but I don't think he could wear one of those big like longhorn hats.
No, one of my Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it. I have a straw, and my straw goes into your milkshake, and I drink it up.
Oh my God.
Did you go method right there?
I thought I did pretty good, honestly.
It honestly wasn't terrible.
An oil man.
When you first started it, I was like, this is going to be really terrible. But it wasn't.
Yeah. See? I can do accents. Also, Steven Seagal in this movie is a firefighter, right? They kind of allude to the fact that he fights fires.
He does everything, dude. There's nothing he doesn't do. Yeah, they started off like he's a firefighter, but like at some point when the mercenaries Ermey like investigates him, he's like, this man does everything.
Yeah.
This is the man that they call in to solve everything. There is no history about him. You will not find it. He created history. He's done everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Seagal is just like immediately suspicious of his employers at this oil company. And obviously even in the pressers, like they're trying to push the Aegis 1. Like you said, like there's a deadline for either the natives will take it or he'll take it. I think Mr. Takai, who's the dude? Why am I thinking George Takai? It's not.
It's not.
The dude in the press conference saying, we're going to get this land. He's like, no, you are not. Michael Caine is pretty good in this movie, though.
He's a good villain, I'd say.
Can we talk about how he wears Native American garb the entire movie, Steven Seagal?
And he has like a ponytail to make him look like Native American.
He's got a perpetual squint going on his eyes. He never fully opens his eyes the whole movie.
There are times where things explode or he does good things, and he stares directly into the camera and smirks, and I'm not going to lie.
You got off.
I might have.
Hey, Hugh. he calls him Hugh like 7 times.
Hugh, what you doing, Hugh?
Hugh.
I do. This is at least Seagal is very. I can understand Seagal in this movie.
Yeah, I just feel like he. I can hear him too well.
You like him being
he talks
inaudible.
Too loud.
Yeah,
I agree. It's because like this is young. Seagal.
I feel like he doesn't strike the balance. Like he's too vocal in this one.
Can we talk about how after he blows up a fire with fire and solves everything, he goes to the local bar where the oil rig workers that he just saved are picking on a Native American man, and he proceeds to like murder all of them.
I think he literally just like, and the bar owners are so upset. He's like, nah, not again. He's breaking shit. I think he like pretty much murders 25 people in there.
Does he even get touched during that scene?
Nope.
No.
And then he plays the slap hands game with the bully.
Yeah, and he just
absolutely just gives him 2 punches and then essentially just destroys him. And then he gives him that excellent quote, Shane.
Brian, what is the essence of a man? How do you change the essence of a man? I think it's by punching him in the sternum.
He answers him. He's like, time. You need time.
It's a very
that is the answer.
Touching scene.
It's actually the answer. It was kind of like so weird and off-putting.
It was.
But like I kind of liked it, I guess.
So Mike, you asked that guy in the bar that plays slap hands.
I've seen him.
Where is he from?
In a lot of shit.
He's in 245 movies.
Man.
I didn't want to look through all of them, but I could tell you this. He's the fat guy who sits in the van in Dumber and Dumber.
You mean Dumb and Dumber?
Dumber and Dumber?
I think that's the sequel.
Yeah, no, it's the first one, Dumb and Dumber. He's the one who they accidentally poison him at the burger joint.
Yeah, you're right. That's him.
So, yeah. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about how this whole movie was made so Seagal could, 1, get filleted by everyone, and 2, give an environmental message. Now, Brian, I told you before that I thought he had filmed 20 minutes worth of environmental footage and he wanted to include it all. I just scrolled on our local IMDb page here, and it says producer and director Steven Seagal filmed almost 40 minutes of footage for the environmental message at the end of the movie and planned to use all of it in the final cut.
He's literally a psychopath.
After pressure from Warner Brothers and a disastrous preview screening where audience members booed and made obscene gestures, Seagal cut the movie down to about 11 minutes.
Is this like a passion project for him on...
What a fucking gangster.
What a scene.
What a G.
I think it was.
As everything explodes and he stands still with the detonator, unfazed by the fire around him.
I do respect, though, that Michael Caine also was unfazed by the fire. Also, why are they putting the oil out with water now?
This whole scene just confused the shit out of me.
Look, I'm going to be honest. This movie, at face value, if you're not a Seagal fan, is literal garbage.
Yeah.
But I fucking love this
I agree.
movie.
Well, I think he does murder. Like I don't think I've ever seen him murder as many people he does in this movie. He literally kills insane. When he goes into the oil rig at the end of the movie, the Aegis One, and he just reeks and destroys and just absolutely. He actually does blow up the entire complex. He kills probably hundreds of people.
And I also don't understand how he'll get away with this because they said the FBI was also there. So he murdered mercenaries, the FBI, technically innocent lawyers and plant directors. And like, are they just going to give the land to the natives and be like, Seagal's a hero? Which he was, because he actually did the meeting.
They're like, not only that, you literally did this. We need to give you a 40-minute presser on all things environmentalism and oil refineries. That PSA at the end on fucking oil and the dangers it has in the environment and the native lands was wild.
You ever seen a movie end like that before?
No.
But a movie that just doesn't have that tone either.
No.
Where are they?
Alaska. They actually are. They actually did film in Alaska.
On location, huh?
So
awesome.
One thing I will also bring up is he saves the environment by blowing up most of the environment.
Yeah.
Like he blows up mountains.
Yep.
He blows up an oil rig, which obviously is going to kill multiple birds and fish.
Yep. Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
That smoke is that'll never leave.
No. He's pretty much destroyed the entire ecosystem of Alaska.
Yeah. But I know like the big thing right after the scene where like he's actively is looking into what they're doing with Aegis One, what Michael Caine is doing.
Because the guy, what was his name? The old guy, Hugh. He told him the parts were faulty. They did this. I beg you, Forrest. Which ironically, the guy's name is Forrest.
It is,
but he's looking into it.
He grabs their file, and they know that he had access to it. Like John C. McGinley calls it out, and John C. McGinley wants to take him out as well as take out Hugh. And Michael Caine. He's like, you're going to focus first on Hugh, then you'll deal with Forrest afterwards. And Forrest is basically he's like, hey, I'm looking into your shit, looked up your file. This shit is shady.
Yeah. And they go and they take out Hugh first. They torture that poor woman.
They tie him up and they fuck him up.
Cut his fucking...
They're like breaking his finger.
Yeah.
With like...
He does leave a parting gift, though. He leaves that floppy disk.
Yes. For Seagal.
For Seagal, yeah.
And that doesn't actually come into play until like towards the end of the movie. Like it's a while in between because their way of taking out Forrest is they're like, we got a gas leak. You got to solve this for us. Yes. And they send him into the building and he sees Hugh's dead body and then it blows up.
I love it. He sees Hugh's dead body and there's dynamite everywhere.
And he escapes this like a champ, though.
Did you see though when it blows up?
The fucking body that just flies?
Oh, yes, because he... oh, my God.
I love this scene.
He starts running out when he sees this stuff, and the fire, like, literally launches his body into outer space. It's fucking nuts. You can't even make it up.
No, like, you need to see that, because it wasn't even like it was a dummy, but it wasn't. Like, what was that?
It's like some good man shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was fucking wild.
I love it.
But he walks away unscathed.
He does. It's so sick.
Doesn't he get... He gets nurtured, though, by the natives.
Yes.
Yeah,
Josie Packard and the natives.
I was surprised he didn't like do anything with a young and impressionable Josie Packard.
Okay, so I think this is before Seagal got into, like, creepy Seagal.
Creepy Seagal?
Like, I think this is, like... I have a Hollywood career I need to maintain. I'm not just going to grope the small
This might have started
Incan
it, though.
woman.
Oh, what do you got over there, bud?
Hershey's Twizzlers, they're not mine.
Good move.
So you're just eating Caitlin's Twizzlers. Mm-hmm. You know what? We're going to make a stand here.
Shane, how dare you?
Mike, you never just ate someone else's food before?
I mean, all the time, but...
Mike, I can't even rip it off.
Yeah, they're stuck together.
Yeah, this is kind of sick.
So... I think it's the Inuit tribe, actually.
It is the Inuits.
And their chief talks to him, and he doesn't know if he's a bear or he's a man, and he makes that very clear.
Oh, my God. That scene is actually wild.
But they do nurse him back to health, and he does not want to get them hurt by Michael Caine. So he tries to leave in the middle of the night and steal their stuff. But I think he's unable to do that. I forgot what happens. Does he get hurt or something? And they catch him. They catch him, and he goes, "Well, if you're well enough to steal,
He gets mauled by dogs.
he gets bitten by the wolf dogs. If you're good, you're healthy enough to steal. You're healthy enough to be on your own and travel." And he's ready to leave.
And he does. But Johnson McGinley still goes there, searching, and somehow just shoots the guy.
Shoots the chief.
Which, honestly,
It is a parting gift. He just shoots him.
there's no way this wouldn't lead to just them winning the oil rig now.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
He'd also be cursed for eternity.
He'd be cursed 100%. I also
Yeah.
think they would. I know they had a couple of guys with guns drawn, but there were so many more natives. I feel like they would have went after them.
100%.
Oh,
But they can't go after him because Seagal has to save the day.
Of course, he's the hero. We all know that.
So this leads to, Josie Packard leaves with Seagal because they're going to Hugh's house because they got to find the guns and the information. They get there. There's mercenaries everywhere.
I am a mercenary.
Well, they hired Ermey. They hired the crew. They've done the research. They're scouting. They're getting the intel. And they have really stockpiled everybody into this rig. They're not letting him get on the compound. I do like the Predator forest scene where he sets up traps for all the mercenaries and takes half of them out.
That's what I was going to say because that was the scene I was going to. Because it starts at Hugh's house.
Yeah.
Where he gets his weaponry and guns. And that's where he kills Otto.
Yes.
Which is another interesting fact. You know us. You know our podcast. You know we love IMDb facts. There's an interesting one in here. I want to see if I can find real quick. Are you asking Brian for one of those?
Yeah, I see you guys eating, and I feel like I need to partake.
Okay. I'm going to read this word for word.
Read it.
Because I actually find this so fascinating. You can reach there.
Okay.
When Danish stuntman actor Steven Thorson met producer and director Steven Seagal on set, Seagal asked Thorson to kick him to show what Thorson was capable of. Thorson hesitantly kicked Seagal, who caught his leg and threw him to the ground. Seagal asked Thorson to kick him again, giving it his best shot. Thorson kicked Seagal as fast and hard as he could, and Seagal fell to the ground. When shooting a scene together a day or two later, Seagal hit Thorson in the throat, leaving Thorson unconscious for 3 or 4 seconds. It looks so realistic that Seagal decided to leave that character, Otto, leaving him that he had died in that scene, and cut the remaining scenes from the movie that he was in.
Wild.
Because he was so proud of his throat chop.
And that he knocked him unconscious in the fight in the house, that he cut the rest of that guy's scenes out and left him dead there.
So you're telling me he's a bad guy.
Seagal? Oh, we've been saying that for a very long time.
Why do we like this guy?
Because of like this. Like when he is just like he's the perfect bad movie star. Like
You're a big man.
like I've never like there's action stars like what
is
Sylvester Stallone
Chuck
or
Norris.
Arnold, Chuck Norris. They like
What is this shit?
he's just I've never seen someone so full of themselves.
It's pulverizing for sure.
It's just fascinating. And his hair is so real.
You think he dies?
Bro, he's not Spo.
Spo dies for sure.
But yeah, it's crazy. So I need to mention that. And then,
wild.
but from that scene where he kills Otto in the house, he then starts doing the Predator scene, which you could talk about, or whoever wants to take this, because it is wild.
He just starts setting up traps, and I know the one guy, he's like, what, a Cubs gonna make this trap? And then he literally falls into the next trap, and like he takes out like 4 mercenaries just by the traps alone to get out of the forest area.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. He plants C4 everywhere, so he's constantly just blowing up innocent animals and trees, and then
Just taking down the rainforest. He's gonna start his own forest fires.
yeah, right. And then he's just like, oil is bad.
You're calling him a hypocrite is what you're doing.
Well, in the movie, yeah.
I just didn't know
That
this was
shit's
like
so
was this
funny.
like a Steven Seagal directed and produced this, so I feel like he had intent to put that message out there.
100%.
40 minutes. So what was he, just like some real big environmentalist in the mid 90s?
No, I think he's just so fake.
Did you just try to like really like just have like a message, a strong message
Yes.
put in a movie?
Yeah, that's all it. I just think Seagal is just, he's not a real person. And I
comes down
would
to.
love to talk to him in real life. Like,
current day, I'd like to talk to him back. Like,
I want any time a day. Like, I mean, granted, he weighs like 700 pounds now. But
oh man,
he does though. He's wild. All right, let's talk about the ending. Let's talk about this whole oil refinery scene where the FBI has been called. The mercenaries are there,
and he takes everybody out by himself, and Josie Packard, who just follows behind him.
Yep. She doesn't do a single thing.
Well,
But he kills everyone.
well, she's learning from the best.
Do you know what's sick, too, about the scene? Arlie Ermey gets him where he could easily have just killed him.
That scene kind of like, if him getting launched into outer space from the explosion didn't do it, this scene did. When a cold-blooded mercenary who was brought in, who's one of the best in Angola and all these places that Michael Caine said, brings him in, he has a chance to blow his fucking brains out for seconds and ends up getting his gun taken from him and shot himself.
Absurd.
By Seagal. It's fucking wild.
Doesn't he like fucking? What does he do to McGinley?
He throws him into
Kills
the
shit out of
helicopter
him, right?
propeller.
Yeah, that was crazy.
McGinley just like tried to beg, and then he like threw a punch and it missed, and because Seagal's not getting touched.
Yeah.
He can't get that.
Does Seagal actually ever get hit in this movie?
No.
I don't think he does, right?
I'm telling you, he doesn't get hit in any movie.
No. His stunt double got hit in the one with Mike Tyson.
Oh right, yeah. Classic scene, by the way.
The only good scene in that entire
How does he get
movie.
rid of Michael Caine?
Oh, he drops him off of the
into the
ledge
fucking-
into the oil.
yeah.
Where he clearly drowns because I don't think you can swim in oil.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's like too gelatinous.
Yeah, no. I
think you
no
sink
chance.
in oil.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, you get some of that shit down your throat.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. There's
Yeah,
no way.
he's dead. You don't fuck with oil.
He's filming a commercial here.
Get these fucking animals away from me.
He's funny. Like he's just like
Michael
don't-
Caine is a
he's like,
great
please
villain.
Don't that. Yeah, he does. He's just a general piece of shit, and he's so good at it. I love it.
He's wearing a trench coat too.
He's looking good.
Michael Caine's a very underrated actor of our day.
Yeah, Sir
Sir
Michael.
Michael
He's been knighted, dude.
He's so good.
Quick question: who's a better John C? Is it McGinley or Riley? Which would you
That's
prefer?
It is tough.
Because you're a big Scrubs guy.
Well,
I
that's
know
the thing.
that.
They both have their strengths. Like John C. was more for John C. McGinley was more for TV shows,
He's so fucking good in Scrubs, dude.
but John C. Riley, to be fair, like his comedies were good for a while, like Step Brothers and stuff.
Yeah.
But his serious roles, like when he
Really
was in
good.
Magnolia and stuff like that, I also thought were very good.
Boogie Nights.
Boogie's great in Boogie Nights. So
Yeah, they're both really good in their respective.
yeah, I like both of them.
I like
So.
them both. I'm not gonna choose. I won't do it.
Perfect. So let's talk about now this
The
All that's left-
absolute fucking wild
ending.
ending to this movie.
So he's just giving a speech, right, at the very end to the Inuits.
Oh yeah, well they blow up the oil rig.
Yeah.
essentially him and Josie Packard. There's no sex scene with her, which was surprising.
Shocking.
Seeing as she was much younger than. Well, actually, he was young, but she was definitely younger
Yeah,
than him.
I
Way
mean, to be fair,
younger.
Seagal in this movie was probably 40.
Yeah, probably.
Bro.
So Seagal, I
he's
don't know if you
old
know this,
in real
Seagal started his movie career very late. I think Seagal in his first movie was like 33-ish.
Damn.
Yeah, because he originally was like a dojo owner. I'm not even kidding. When I
That
say
makes so much sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, literally flash to him. I think that rig or whatever is
Yep.
gonna go to the native.
Yep,
guy.
the natives, the female lawyer
That was wild.
who, while trying to escape, for some reason just drives her car directly into a flammable tank.
But did you see how that scene was shot? That scene was so bad.
It-
like they don't even show the car hitting before you see her face bloody and
Bloody, yeah.
it's wild.
Yeah, it's a rough scene, but yeah, she does die. She was just so irrelevant. There was really no reason to bring her
Yeah.
up. Yeah, so Seagal, we're gonna literally watch 7 to 10 minutes of just the environment and fish, like
Stock footage of
fish dying.
polar bears and shit.
This was way too long and annoying, and I really wish it wasn't in the movie.
Me either,
Maybe for like a minute.
But I also love that it was in the movie.
Yeah,
You know
that
what?
was-
I wish the fucking 40-minute version was out there.
I would have been fucking.
No, seriously, I would have been so
would have
pissed
been
at that.
so fucking dead.
Brian would have been asleep
I would have
3
been-
times.
I would have
Yeah.
been unconscious, not by a fucking throat chop.
Yeah.
By a PS.
I'm like, can I just like throat chop you to end this episode?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, we gotta say if we're gonna recommend it. I think everyone knows.
Oh, this one should be obvious.
Yeah, yeah. This is actually one. To be fair, in terms of a movie, this is probably the best Seagal movie we've watched.
Agreed. I do think that there's like some ebbs and flows, but it is a pretty entertaining movie. I think the performances are strong from everybody besides Steven Seagal. I think I just wish the PSA wasn't in it, man. And that is a reduced version because that kind of takes you out of it because it feels long. It was
I couldn't believe it
like
was
10
still
minutes.
done, yeah.
It felt long. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like McGinley, Ermey, Michael Caine, all fantastic. Seagal is horrible, but it is the right horrible. Like,
it's the horrible you've come to expect.
He's just like, I am the best, and everyone must bow to me, kind of like, and I fucking love it. So yeah, we're gonna just keep doing Seagal. He's a treasure chest of bad movies.
Yeah, he's special. We love Seagal.
We owe him like a big. He gives us a lot of content.
He's amazing.
For sure.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's awesome. We love him. Alrighty.
But next week,
what do we got next week?
We're gonna do a sequel. Yeah. We don't do sequels often on this podcast. Just kidding. We do them all the time.
Literally all the time.
So we're gonna finish up a series. We're gonna return to the woods, and I'm gonna tell you we're not gonna fuck in them.
No,
we're not fucking in the woods.
You'll die
because you die. That's why we're gonna review Don't Fuck in the Woods 2.
Yep.
Which should have probably been called Don't Fuck in the Woods Again.
Yeah.
Kind of would have made.
Yeah.
It would have been a clever title.
Yeah,
But
you're really smart. I'm really honored to work with you.
Thank you. But yeah, so next week, Don't Fuck in the Woods 2. I
Don't
hope you
do it.
like fucking and tits because it's in this movie.
Yep.
Like fucking tits or fucking and tits?
Oh, who doesn't love fucking tits?
The movie's wild. It's wild.
We got wild guys. Come get wild with us.
www.thefinalpodcast.com for all of our reviews and all of our content. We are so excited to review this one next week. I think they are going to make a third one.
Yes.
But it definitely was exciting. So we'll talk that next week. We'll see you next Friday and
There's a
Monday,
cat.
of course, for the A Show.
The actual podcast.
See you next week.
Bye.